Colbert, whose show has been canceled for going so hard left and not allowing any other perspectives, he had Governor Pritzker on The Late Show and pressed him. Watch this.
If you're considering doing a little more redrawing in Illinois, you already have some crazy districts in Illinois. Take a look at this. Look at 17 here. It does that, then it comes up here and it sneaks around there and goes all the way up here and then goes right over there like that. And look at this one, kind of goes whoop up there. It's like the stinger on a scorpion down here. Is this common for all states to do?
Well, we handed it over to a kindergarten class and let them decide.
Okay, and that's the nonpartisan group that does this
Absolutely.
for you guys?
That's our independent commission, you know. That is, yeah. I mean, look.
So because all...
Says it with a straight face, too. Hey, our nonpartisan commission, this is exactly how to do it. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. It's ludicrous. And, you know, I think Colbert, to his credit, asked him the question, tried to provide him with some type of cover. It just doesn't look good.
Not surprised that Stephen Colbert invited a Democrat governor on his show. Since his show was canceled a few weeks ago, all of his guests, 100% of them, have been liberal.
Shocker.
Yep. And 95% of his jokes have targeted conservatives, according to MRC.
Yeah,
Media Research Center.
You look at that, and again, it's not surprising to us, but it's fascinating that Colbert is refusing to learn from what happened with his show being canceled because he still, for however many months the show's got left, got to represent his network. Yeah. And the message was, you're not putting any other voices on, and it's time to change that, and yet, obviously, that's not happening.
Fallon apparently got the memo, and I always thought that he was a little bit more moderate than the rest of them. Gutfeld, I think, is going to be on tomorrow night. This will be the first time he's ever been on the program. But you see this realignment. It's the people that want to be appealed to the middle. I'm not saying that these late-night hosts can't be Democrats or liberal, but you can't shun half of the country and still want them to watch your show.
Who are their viewers?
It doesn't work that way. Exactly.
Well, the haters now going after Sydney Sweeney's dog, labeling the German Shepherd named Sully Boy a Nazi pet as the frenzy over her American Eagle jeans ad continues. But some are wondering why a similar Levi's ad campaign featuring Beyonce isn't facing the same backlash. Fox News Saturday night host Jimmy Failla joining us now. Jimmy.
Hey.
It's just, it wasn't enough to go after Sydney Sweeney. Now they're going after Sully Bear, the beloved German Shepherd dog that she always posts on Instagram. Here's some of what they were saying about the dog. That is a Nazi pest, said one person. Swastika Sweeney. Another one said hyper white person pet for sure. And German Shepherd, just like your salute to Hitler family. Wow.
I know. The best part about this is everybody waging this attack is a rescue themselves. Okay, you've seen these people. They don't have forever homes. They're just screaming into their iPhones on TikTok because they're losers. And it's a personal story for me because, as you know, like Sydney Sweeney, I grew up with blonde hair, blue eyes, and big boobs, okay? We've all seen the pictures of a young Jimmy Failla. That could have been my ad. So the double standard on Beyonce is obviously absurd on its face. But I think the reason we're leaning into this on the right and enjoying it as much as we are is it's a celebration because this is the end of cancel culture. 5 years ago, American Eagle might have backed down because they just didn't want the backlash. But now that we've stood our ground and seen what's happening, it's really funny with the clarity of stepping back. Like, wait, what? Okay, American Eagle with a Jewish CEO is running Nazi propaganda. And since we're on that topic, Griff, our great-grandparents literally defeated Hitler so we could come back 80 years later and get called Nazis for liking boobs. I didn't sign up for that. Neither did Grandpa Failla.
But why the haters got to go after the dog?
Oh, that part is, again, it's so absurd. And the reason why, and this is the biggest problem for wokeism and the outrage mob, in order for them to succeed, they have to attack fun things. Meaning a funny American Eagle ad, nobody needs to take that seriously. Dogs? Like they went from, all right, listen, the cleavage thing ain't working. We'll go after dogs. I'm like, have any of you been on Instagram in the last year and a half? It's all boobs and dogs. Like you're losing this one.
Yeah, and if you walk through Times Square, the American Eagle store, they're leaning in. American Eagle knows that they've got a winner and they're not going to back down.
Amen.
Obviously, President Trump, shout out to Sydney Sweeney, her Republican registration. We'll see where this goes. Very fascinating. Let me shift gears a little bit, though. Stephen Colbert. Here's a shocker, right? 2 weeks after his cancellation, he's doubled down on his liberal positions. Let's show you how many conservative guests have been on. Oh, wait, 0, because 100% have been liberal guests. 95% of the jokes are targeting conservatives. What gives?
Well, this is the bigger problem he has, okay? Obviously, we've been saying for years this is an activist masquerading, okay, as a comedian. But it's not just because of his political bias. It's because of his limitations as a comic. He got famous playing a right-wing pundit on Comedy Central. That was that show was just one big conservative joke. So when they took off the facade of the character and made him be himself, that was still all he knew how to do. So he couldn't change this even if you took the political allegiance out of it. But the one comment I'd make is if you watched Kamala, she was on last Thursday.
Right.
That was the happiest Colbert's ever been as a host. And the reason why is you feel a lot better about losing $40 million a year when you sit down with a woman who lost $1 billion in 3 months. It's like, wow, I'm not the worst. Hey, she is. Get her out here.
Last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Is Jimmy Fallon different? He's going to have
Jimmy
Greg
Fallon
Gutfeld
is super supportive to comics behind the scenes. He's obviously having Greg on. He sent me a case of ice cream when I got my own show with a nice note, and wardrobe was like, you can't eat it, Chubbs. But anyway, thanks for the Ben and Jerry's.
Jimmy Failla, the very best. You can catch him on Saturday nights with Saturday Night with Jimmy Failla, 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't want to miss that. Jimmy, thank you.
You're the best.
Great to have you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.